Okay, second time is the charm. Georgi Dinkov, how are you, sir?
Like I said, hanging in there, considering what's going on. I'm assuming it's the same with you and everybody else following his work.
Yeah, fucking sucked. It was brutal. Keith Littlewood, who is going to be on the podcast, he's going to be on next month, or this month rather. He sent me, he's like, did you hear? And he's like, I'm really sorry. And I was like, my heart sunk. I knew something bad had happened. So you were saying, how did you hear about it?
I was just checking out the forum. There was one of the threads, and then somebody posted something completely unrelated saying, like, rest in peace, Ray Peat. And I said, good Lord, because this is being confirmed. And then, people started starting new threads, and then somebody posted a screenshot. And I think it was Ray's niece had emailed Brad and Jeremy, like the film crew.
Slight correction. So Brad and Jeremy on one of the on the Back of a Tiger interviews, I think it was the first day, one of his niece said that he had passed away on Thanksgiving in a comment on the video. And so it was pretty confusing to figure out what had happened there. And I feel like we just got mostly clarity. I mean, not clarity, but that he actually had passed away maybe last night or this morning, because yesterday was just like a clusterfuck.
So the confirmation is that he passed out last night, or that he passed out last week on Thanksgiving?
No, allegedly he passed away on Thanksgiving. Okay. But we just found out basically yesterday through Brad and Jeremy.
Yeah.
Of On the Back of a Tiger. Same. And then, but I think they found out through a comment in the YouTube comment section of their video of the raw and uncut interview with him.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only information that I have. It would be nice to have like a more official confirmation, but I doubt that somebody would impersonate the niece and, post stuff like that on the YouTube channel. I think that somebody else also said that Patrick Timpone or Timpone emailed somebody and said that basically Ray had passed away from stroke. That was like also on the forum.
Did he say stroke? I didn't know that.
It was it was somebody posting what Patrick Timpone had said. So the word stroke was there. Yeah.
So we want to clarify right now, we don't have any, but besides what everybody else knows, we don't know anything.
As of right now is all unconfirmed through like multiple third parties. Like I said, it would be nice to have a confirmation, but I don't want to bother his relatives, and I don't even know how to reach them. So at this point, there's nothing I can do other than wait.
Yeah, I'm sure the details will come out slowly. Everybody that's calling in right now, sincerely from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Georgie and I will talk a little bit, and then we'll start bringing on people. This is a little bit like of a thrown together kind of thing. And then one other thing, please, I ask, I have a deal with Georgie not to ask him health questions. So if you call in, please say anything you want about Ray Peat, how he's affected your life. But I don't want to break my deal with Georgie to ask him health questions. So that's not really why we're here tonight. We're here to talk about Ray. Yeah. So I don't want to cry. I'm sure I will. But the calls I've had today, the one thing that really stands out to me is having like no regrets whatsoever about the last 2 years, like having him on the show over and over and over again, because I'm so happy with those shows. I'm so happy with like the information that we kind of extracted out of him in like a positive fashion. And I don't know. I haven't really revisited those shows that much, but just yesterday I was listening to I can't remember which one it was, but I was really happy with it. And I think it would have been really terrible if, because originally I didn't want to have like you two on together. I was like, oh, Georgie's a gigantic force and Ray is a gigantic force, and they should be separate. That was my brain dead thinking. And I think it was you and a ton of other people convinced me that we should just try it. We did, and it was something really good. So another thing I was horrifically, terribly wrong on, and I'm happy that I reverted my defective thinking on the subject.
I mean, thanks for starting to invite him. He said a lot of things that I thought he thought, but I didn't want to bother him over email. Actually, I myself have probably not sent him more than maybe 10 emails total since I first found out about him in 2011. And even those emails were actually not on personal health questions. Total health questions for me was probably only 3, but the response on every single one of them helped tremendously. Especially like just like him. I mean, reading about it, he had serious gut issues, like when he was about my age. And then like I had a question, and I guess it reminded me of his own issues, but he basically said, try out, people have reported that cyproheptadine, may help with this and that. And that's kind of what got me out of the learned helplessness situation, which in my case seemed to have been, as I've said many times, related to my bad dietary habits and, low carbing and whatnot. But it was digestion related, which falls right into his whole idea that basically it all starts in the gut. Was it Aristotle who said that too, or?
I think he said like all evil starts in the intestine or something like that. Something very similar.
Like that,
yeah. Should we take a call?
Go ahead.
Okay, let's see how this works. I have to manipulate Georgie's picture a little bit. Okay, Moan. Okay, hopefully she's still there. This is going to mess up the Zoom window very much. Moan, can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm here.
How are you?
Yeah, I can hear you, but
if you have speakers on, you're going to have to turn those off because we're hearing an echo.
Oh, sorry.
No worries. If you have speakers on, you're going to have to turn those off because we're hearing an echo.
Oh, sorry.
No worries. Okay, a word to every caller here. Please be using headphones.
Oh, sorry.
No worries. Well, can you hear us? Oh, God.
I can hear it, but I hear a lot of echoes.
Oh, dear.
I will leave. I'm sorry.
No worries. How do I boot you off here? Hey, call back mode. I'll pick up again, okay? Okay. That's the joys of technology, everyone.
As far as I'm concerned, it peaked with frozen pizza. Everything else since then has been downhill.
This is why Ray agreed with Ted Kaczynski that technology was a bad thing. Okay, so let's try another one here.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard trouble. Akshat. Okay, let's do that. Okay. Akshat, or no. Connecting.
So audio. What does that mean?
Zoom has it. Oh, Akshat, you're live. How are you, sir? Akshat. Oh, Jesus. Okay, maybe let me remove. No, don't.
Is he on mute somehow? Because it
be.
Looks like there's a connection.
Okay, guys, if you're waiting, just please be up to speed. I know that might be hard because I think there might be a delay. But okay, why don't we talk a little bit more? I don't know. Is there anything that Ray said over the last 2 years that really stuck with you? What do you think?
Oh, the last newsletter I think was pretty. I don't know, straightforward. I don't know if I felt that he always tried to strike a positive note whenever we're talking about the events in the world. And then the last newsletter, he concluded with, I don't want to say a dark picture, where basically I had never read his writings to sound like that before. I don't know if you remember, he ended up by saying and he looks at this totally corrupt and evil system that they're trying to impose on us, and then he thinks that whether to join and not join. And he looks around at the world, he looks at nature, he feels connection with nature, with animals, with plants, some humans, right? And then he thinks it's better to not join that system. To me, it sounded like he was kind of, I don't know, disappointed with humanity, or at least the portion of humanity that's willing to embrace this complete nihilistic and anti-human system that they're trying to impose on us. Before, the newsletters were always about this or that aspect, right, of this totalitarianism. Mostly used to write on medical topics, but like he said, the only reason he does is because these topics tend to apply to everybody, right? He wants to write on political topics, but he's afraid that he's going to be misconstrued. And he said, there's a lot of radical political movements, right? And they're so set in their ways that if you say something that triggers them, right, they may exclude everything else that you're saying, even though it may be useful to them. and by use with them, meaning that will spur organization between these different groups that really have a single common enemy, right? But anyways, like I thought that, Marx, it was a landmark in his writings, as far as I'm concerned. And I think that was his last newsletter. I don't have read another one. Yeah. Oh, maybe one more. I think he did one more.
Yeah. The other thing people are asking me about is how, maybe you had just posted about it on the forum or something about what's going to happen to his work. And so I'm sure his widow will know what to do with that, but I have no clue.
I asked him several times during the podcast, if you remember, and maybe it was a question from other people, and they said like, what's. I asked him about the digitization of the books. He said that's ongoing.
That was like 2 years ago.
Right. But if it has been ongoing, right, at least there is something that's being worked on, or we can try at some point to reach out to Catherine and figure out if she needs help or if this is still in the works and what can we do to continue, because I think it'll be this priceless. The work, the priceless work of this man should not be lost. Thankfully, a lot of it is already online, and it's sort of like distributed, right? No single website has all of it, which is good, right? I mean, it may be a little bit annoying to people because they don't have a single source, but it kind of like increases resilience just in case this side or that side gets shut down or gets discontinued, which is what people are now concerned is going to happen to his website, the raypeat.com. But I think those articles that are there have been already reposted multiple times on other websites. So as far as that website is concerned, I think we're fine.
Yeah. Okay, let's try another one. And hey, guys, this was kind of thrown together, like I said earlier. I really apologize. I might be like flashing people's names and numbers, and so don't call if that's like not okay. If I had more time, I think I could have set this up in a smarter way, but I didn't think about it. So I'm going to. I don't even know how to do this. Okay, I have to do this. Okay. So, Carol, we're going to get let's see if this works. Carol, are you on the line? Carol, can you hear us?
After you booted the first person, not booted, but after she hung up, none of the other calls are working. What did you do?
It's not me. Okay. I don't want to report people. Okay, I don't know. Maybe just keep doing these until somebody picks up. What a nightmare.
I see a number.
Hi.
Caller, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Oh, how are you? Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Kiko Rex. I'm calling from originally Charleston, South Carolina.
And do you want to make a statement or say something about Ray, how he affected your life, or the floor is yours?
Yeah. So kind of like Georgi, I got into him about 10 years ago. I had a lot of kind of GI issues, just like Georgi as well. And I guess like Ray Peat, if what Georgi's saying is true, I didn't even know that. But so a few years ago, I was going to school. I was at Arizona State, and I actually kind of leaned on him. I found out some of the things that he was doing with like some of the research he did on keto acids. And some of the interesting things he said about how, plant keto acids could kind of replace proteins. And I got really interested in that topic because, there's actually some research out there that showed that, and it's not even just research, it's actually medicine, keto acid supplements that have helped people with chronic kidney disease. And, basically the idea was that the transaminases will change the keto acids into amino acids. So I thought, there's not a lot of information, and you guys can hear me all right?
Yeah, all good.
I tried to turn it down so you didn't.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, but I thought, if there's enough keto acids in plants, and this is actually kind of a Ray idea, it wasn't just me, and as Georgi, I've seen him in many interviews and whatnot, pointed out at the academic level, there's a lot of, and Ray too, that there's a lot of dogma and dogmatic kind of people. I was, lucky enough to have Ray to kind of be in my corner when I was kind of presenting these things to, because, you go to any kind of academia, and especially the, freshman, sophomore coming in there, you go into an academic lab, and they're not just going to take you and say, oh yeah, we'll do your project. It's pretty much, you do our project.
Yep.
Because, some of the backing I had from Ray, some of the scientific things I could do, and I asked him too, and seriously, I was like, you mind if I copy and paste some of this stuff? Cause I'm working against some, academic hard hitters, at least in their minds. And, lo and behold, I actually got one guy to buy it. And, this professor in particular he's actually what I envision as a scientist, very much like Ray. It wasn't his bread and butter, this particular kind of project. In fact, he was a biochemistry professor, and a lot of this stuff had to do with, kind of straight chemistry, really. I mean, obviously there's stuff with the transaminases, but anyway, so with Ray's help, he basically got me into an undergraduate thesis, which again was unheard of. And, I went and did the project, it didn't turn out super much as I expected and everything, but that didn't matter. I really appreciate what he did for me. And, I've been following I'm a forum member, and, I've been following for a number of years. Like I said, I haven't really posted in the forum recently. I did today, actually, when I found out. My wife told me, my wife got, kind of hooked on him too after we started talking about these things. And, he's just got so much stuff on the internet, so many things to read. It's just, you guys are right. Like, I really hope that, his stuff stays and, there's a legacy there. And I'm glad that, that people do have it on all these websites like Functional PS and all that stuff. So, because, what I'm seeing, and actually when I was looking for it today, like I was looking for his obituary and whatnot, I saw that there was an article on U.S. News and World Report of all the places you could see something about Ray Peat, and it was about, and maybe you guys know this lady, I don't remember her name, but she was somebody who, like a lot of people, like 20 years ago, was like, she consulted Ray Peat, and her life was changed. She actually went and got a PhD, and she was talking about like the Ray Peat diet or some silly stuff like that. But yeah, but it was really interesting, and I'm like, wow, this at some point, this might become the mainstream. And, I say that like, grain of salt, it's kind of nice having a little niche, but I really hope that is the case, because there's so many things that, for me too, like with Georgi, like just little simple things that he, had me fix. Cause I did, in addition to, working with him for my thesis and stuff, I talked to him a little bit about my issues and things like that. And I've posted on the forums too. And I got to thank all you guys too, because you guys are very helpful and nice in the forums. But this is kind of my first time ever actually interacting with anybody from the forums, in this way. So I'll leave the floor to some other people, but I just wanted to, I'm glad that you let me go through and blob and pull your ear for a little bit. And it's like I said in the forum, I think we are the people who are going to have to be the Dr. Peats of the world. So thanks so much.
Dude, you're a genius. Thank you so much.
Sure.
That was good.
Yep.
Maybe I have to boot him off.
Well, to follow up on what he said, I think the good news is that now Ray is going mainstream. And, a lot of doctors are directly misappropriating his ideas. I don't know if you saw the recent post that I did, that this Harvard psychiatrist is saying all mental disease is metabolic disease. It's bioenergetic disease.
Did they use the words?
He apparently wrote this book, and some people on the forum had the book, and he basically, as if Ray had written it, but not a single reference to Ray. I guess, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure Ray would prefer to be referenced, but I think it's still, for him would be like still a good result that finally the bioenergetic approach is getting the attention that it deserves. So the ultimate goal being, obviously to help people out.
Did he say bioenergetic in the paper? Like he's using that term?
If you look at the quotes that I said, basically saying that how the totality of evidence going back decades makes it almost without a doubt that basically all mental disease is metabolic disease. And the reason is that metabolism is key, not just to health and disease, but it's fundamental to life. It's basically without that, it's almost like the functioning structure are interdependent at every level. And he says, like, how can we not care about metabolism, even if we assume that there's a chemical imbalance like a GABA or serotonin, right? He's saying this all depends on metabolism. Mm-hmm. So metabolism is key. It's at the very bottom. No other medical doctor that I've read, I mean, a lot of people talk about mitochondria or this specific enzyme or that enzyme or that metabolite, right? And they're targeting these specific things. It's very much like the mainstream medicine. They're just trying to make it look more metabolic. This guy's just directly saying, no, we need to increase oxidative phosphorylation and basically this will cure actually, all mental disease. And by the way, we can do this by manipulating diet, reducing stress, and doing all of these other healthy things. So essentially, basically what Ray was saying, the only thing missing, if he had started talking about endotoxin and the carrot salad, then I would have probably filed a lawsuit. But, it still reads like the article that was written about the book still very much reads like it was directly copied from Ray.
That's wild. Okay, let's take another caller here. I bet Helena is at her computer and will speak to us. Okay, let's. Helena. Helena, are you there? I don't know. Helena, testing. Okay, we're gonna have to ditch Helena. Helena, call back. I'll pick up again. Don't report. I can't read these. Okay, let's try. Catherine, you're on the air. How are you?
It shows muted for me.
Yeah, you're muted if you can hear us. I think it's because there's a lag between YouTube. Oh, Catherine, can you hear us? Oh, you muted
Still
yourself
muted.
again. Now you're unmuted. Can you hear us? Oh no. Okay, Sheila. I didn't know what Catherine that was. Okay, so let's do Heather's iPhone. Guys, please be, for the love of God, please be prepared and be wearing headphones. And so let's do Heather's iPhone. Okay, joining. Guys, seriously appreciate it. I think there's like 500 people watching here. So really, really appreciate it. And also, I have to thank everybody. I've been receiving people have been coming out of the woodwork to just say, sorry. I think it's the world's loss. I don't think of it as my personal loss. I think it's sad for everybody. But people have been super ridiculous. How do I remove Heather now? Okay, let's try Trevi. Oh, now both of them are going to be joining. Trevi.
Connected to audio. Well, if anything, these technical difficulties are showing you that the Great Reset will not succeed if you cannot even get that right.
Does it look like it? Oh man, maybe I should try answering from the bottom or something.
Yeah, maybe it sorts them in a very specific way.
Man, I'm like a serious Zoom noob. Okay, let's just try it from the bottom. Maybe those people are like more there. Okay, Yodi. Or Yodi, it's saying, Yodi, can you hear us?
There you go.
Yodi. Oh, connecting again. Yodi, can you hear us? Yodi. Okay, got to remove.
Why would it say connecting to audio though? Is this when the person is on their earpiece or?
That's just what Zoom does. It gives a period where it's connecting the specific audio source. It's very bizarre. If this doesn't work, okay, here's a okay, caller, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Hey, yeah,
Yep.
you're on air. Give us anything you got, any story about Ray, how he's affected your life. The floor is yours.
Before kind of coming in contact with Ray's work, I, like a lot of people, kind of did the yo-yo dieting. I did keto for a couple of years and tried a lot of different things. Again, like a lot of other people, I had, all the different digestive problems of modernity pretty much. So I was just trying to find relief for that. So I tried all these different diets and I don't even remember how I kind of came to find Ray's work. I think, Danny, I might have just seen one of your videos one time and, you know, found out a little bit about Ray. And I remember the first time I read about kind of the quote unquote Ray Peat diet. I was like, you know, I think like anybody, it's like, you see what he's talking about and it seems so foreign and like it can't be right, but it like kind of pulls you in because you're like, what is this guy talking about? You know? So I started to go down the rabbit hole. I went on his website, read all of the, all these different articles and then tried to slowly implement them into my diet. A lot of, you know, PUFA depletion and, you know, drinking more coffee, just, you know, simple things like that at first, taking aspirin and just like miraculously slowly over, you know, the course of 2 or 3 years, my digestive issues started to improve. And I mean, I can't, I cannot thank Ray enough for coming in contact with this information and being able to implement it and just relieve like these issues I was having. Cause you know, I was in my mid-20s at the time and, you know, it's not cool to be that young and have these issues and to, you know, to resolve them for the most part has been, I mean, nothing like short of a miracle in my eyes.
Dude, amazing. Absolutely incredible. Thank you for sharing that.
Yep. No, thank you, Danny.
Cool, brother. Thanks again, guys. Okay. Let me boot this person. Why does it report to? Okay. Let's try another one. Who is, let's try Melissa. Melissa, you are live with me and the Bulgarian wizard. What?
Wow, that was easy. I'm in shock.
Hey, you got to use headphones because we can hear ourselves.
Hey, you got to use headphones because we can hear ourselves.
Whoa, there's some weird.
Oh God, I just turned. Hey, Melissa, call back. I gotta boot you. Okay. Georgi, are you still there?
Yeah, of course. Where would I be?
I had to turn down the audio a lot. Guys, please use headphones or it's gonna be crazy. Melissa, call back and if you're wearing headphones and I'll take your call again. So guys, you got to be wearing headphones and you can't be using speakers that are going to feed back into the fucking mic, and that's going to create a bad experience for everybody. Yeah. Okay, let's try another one. Let's do a phone number. Okay, hello. You are on the line with me and the Bulgarian wizard. What is your name? And the floor is yours.
Oh my gosh. Hey guys, it's Alana here. What's up?
Hey, what's going on?
How are you?
Nothing. So when I found out about Dr. P, I immediately emailed Georgi and I was so sad, but I think all my friends think I'm crazy. And I don't know if you guys have had this experience where other people don't get it. And I think it's a testament though of how strong Ray's energy was, or an aura was. I don't know.
If other people think you're crazy, you're probably a lot more normal.
Yeah, you're probably completely normal.
They give you credit for.
I feel
no, I agree, but also,
you go.
Also, I was kind of depressed and sad the day before, and I had recently bought the book Synchronicity by F. David because Dr. Pete had recommended it, and then this happened. It was absolutely crazy.
The F. David Peat book, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's spooky. That's crazy.
I know, and then this happened. And I was just bawling, but I think my friends actually do think this is weird I
was talking about this with somebody about 2 hours ago But we were saying, like, Ray gives you this information like through email or something, and then you experiment with this information in an extremely personal way for like personal problems that you have. So it's such like an intimate thing that you have this connection to this person that's helping you solve your health problems, and those could be from a week to a month to 5 years, you know, and they could be devastating, completely disrupting your quality of life. And then this person that just answers an email could help or solve that problem for you. And again, it might just be hard for people that don't understand trying to pursue and solve problems for themselves. Like, but I mean, you're preaching to the choir. We completely get it.
No, I totally agree. And I think it's actually like a strong testament of, you know, that one story of like Dr. Peat where he's like, the like lady couldn't handle his aura. So like, I forget the, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. It was typewriter.
Like, yeah. Like how, yeah. And I just feel like when like someone is their best and truest self, like it's more strong and direct, and the aura is way more strong. And, I just have never felt that with anyone. So yeah.
you
and I wanted to say hi to you guys.
In terms of authentic people, it's hard to think of anybody that matched him. He was just, and my friend Karen, I have a few podcasts with her from a while ago, but she said one of his best qualities was he was so validating. You could tell him some wild idea that you had or something, and he would just like validate your thoughts and how you felt about it. He wouldn't say, "Oh no, that's not how it works." You know, like it was just incredible experience talking to him. It was not like talking to most other people.
But I do feel like now, like there's something like definitely like dim about everything now. You know, like there's something like definitely like missed like right away. You know, like in the I don't know, in the mission or whatever, you know?
I for myself, I felt like it's a new phase of life. It's like it figuring out things, well, and not having that support, like to for example, when I got chickens, I asked him a lot of questions. I was like, hey, these chickens are sneezing. That's like a respiratory problem. And he's like, oh, you need to keep them warmer. And you know how many hours I spent trying to figure that out on like fucking Google? Like it was, nobody knows anything about chickens on the internet. And like, but you could email Ray and he would just be like, oh yeah, that's because you're not keeping them warm enough. And again, it's not, the idea is to like hitch on every need you have to him, but it's just like this person who's like endless, supporting, things that are not available to every person. You know, I mean, I have to become a 10-year expert on chickens to figure this stuff out.
Yeah, exactly. No, I totally feel you. But so just want to say that happy to be here as well.
hey, thanks for calling. Sincerely appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, love you guys.
Yeah, total pleasure.
Love you guys. Bye.
Same.
Okay.
So hold on, chickens sneeze?
Yeah, they will sneeze. And then it will turn into death. Like they'll sneeze so much. So again, I'm not an expert on this, but I think that means there's something wrong with their respiratory system. And I've had like at least 3 chickens die from it, but they die like real slowly. So if anybody's like an expert on chickens in the audience, I'm all ears. But
I wonder why wouldn't the same be true of humans too? The sneezing is not a very good sign.
That's a good point. But anyways, feeding them more, they seem to be especially affected by vitamin A. And so I've been trying to give them a lot more of that. Okay, let's...
Want to just mention something about the synchronicity? I think I sent you like a longer email, maybe last year, like 2 years ago, about Kammerer, the guy who like started developing this more scientifically, the Austrian guy who got suicided, right? Was found shot in his left temple, but he was right-handed and was holding like a revolver in his right hand. Anyways, so he spent like an exorbitant amount of time doing this. And then when he died, I think one of his students, that's what the book said, picked it up, and he was fascinated by this idea. And basically every time he would go and, you know, in the park and try to repeat what Kammerer had done, he will get like a flood of synchronicities. And he felt like camera was, staring from somewhere and laughing at him and saying like, I told you so. Didn't believe me, but this stuff is serious. So yeah. So as we discussed in one podcast with Ray, at least my feeling is that the more synchronicities you experience in your life, I don't think there are a high number of them for other people. It's just that the more you notice them, I think the more in tune you are with the waves in which reality moves.
Yeah. That was one of my favorite episodes when we talked about deja vu, synchronicity, and maybe life after death was the other one. By the way, guys, if you do a super chat, I will read them probably towards the end. We'll get to those. Okay, let's take another caller. Okay, I have no clue who this is. Okay, caller, you are on the air. Can you hear us?
Yeah, Danny. Hi, it's Trebby.
Hey, Trebby, how are you?
Oh, I'm wonderful. A little sad, grieving.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I wanted to let you know that I did speak with Catherine the day after Ray passed, and obviously she's very sad and sorrowful. And Ray just left peacefully in his sleep, and it wasn't a great mystery. It was just his time to go. I guess he had done everything, and as is often the case, that happens with people. But I shall miss him. I've been a very, very good close friend of Ray's for years, and my husband Brad and I spoke to him every week sometimes, or every couple weeks sometimes even more, and so it's a big loss, as I'm sure it is for so many people. But I did get a chance to talk to him a few days before he passed, and he was wonderful. You know, he was helping me with a friend who has long COVID, and he was his same wonderful, loving self. And I'm really grateful that we had that phone call, and I got to tell him again how much we loved him. And so it's sad for everyone, but his love was so immense. And I wanted to tell you and Georgie that we've talked about you several times. And this was about a year ago, I guess we were talking, and I said something about hearing him talk with you. And I asked him about something he had said to one of you. I can't remember which one. And then I said, you know, they really bring up really good questions. And he said to me, that's why it's always so much fun talking to them. And he really loved being with you guys. He just enjoyed it. So I really wanted to let you know he shared that with me, how much fun it was for him. And he loved that you guys asked him tough questions and gave him a chance to really think about things. He really was just so grateful for that.
Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing this.
Yeah.
Thanks, Troy.
And I hope we can all continue to send love to Catherine and really honor her privacy at this time. You know, she lost her life partner of 40 years. She met him when she was 23. So if we can all just hold her in our best thoughts and wishes and give her plenty of time to deal with this, that would be great.
If you find out from her whatever she needs, please share it with us so we can try to help.
Yes, I will. And if I hear anything, I will definitely pass that to her. But I think right now, more than anything, she, as anyone, just really needs her space and really needs to be able to just grieve. Because for us, he was our friend and an inspiration, and he saved my life 7 years ago. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Ray. But for Catherine, it was her life partner. And the few times I've been with her and Ray, the love she has for Ray is off the charts. And she was so tender and loving, and I'm so grateful that Ray spent his life with someone who really, really loved him. And that makes a good life.
Yeah, wishes to everybody. Not very common these days.
No. And, you know, a lot of my phone calls with Ray, we'd just be talking about things he and Catherine did. And he would say, oh, Catherine made me chicken livers with bacon today. And he would just be so happy, and we'd swap recipes. And, you know, he lived a really beautiful life. And, you know, he loved nature. They had a cat that he was always eager to tell me about what had been happening with the neighbor's cat. And Ray was just a really sweet, beautiful person. And a couple of months ago, I asked him, I said, you know, Ray, all the things that you know that's going on in the world, and some things that are not very nice, you know, how do you deal with that? How do you process that? You know, and like, what motivates you? And he said, oh, well, if I could just help one more person, that keeps me going. And that was Ray. You know, he never became bitter or angry or hopeless or anything. He was always filled with hope. And I think that's one of the best ways that we can honor him as people who knew him and our lives were touched by him, is to continue to hold the very best thoughts and hold hope for the world, and not become bitter or give up, but to just really love in as many ways as you can every day, because that's what Ray did.
Thank you.
You're a legend, Trebby. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome, Danny, and so much love to you. I know this is going to be life-changing for you, Danny, and I'm so excited about your future and all the possibilities and what this will mean for you.
Appreciate it.
But really know that Ray loved you both very much. So,
thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Trevor.
All right. Thank you. Lots of love to you both. Bye.
Hang in there.
I talked to Trebby many years ago, and she shared really funny stories about Ray and lots of insight, and even things that I've still used to this day. She had told me like that he had mentioned a long time ago that became really useful.
So she's a family friend, I gather. Like, is she from Oregon?
Yeah, we should have just asked her. I think she. I mean, I don't want to screw this up. I think she's in Oregon, but she's had a connection to him maybe since the 90s, like 1994 or something. Long time.
Wow.
Okay, let's get to another call.
Well, it sounds like he was actually in pretty good health, or at least like recovered from the incidents with the voice on the shows with Patrick Timpone, that people got really freaked out about that.
Did we already talk about this? Stop me if we have. That was one thing that made this not easy, but a little bit settle into it, because again, you and I had seen firsthand that his voice was kind of deteriorating over the last year or so, and so it wasn't. I mean, I didn't think he was going to pass away, but like you could definitely tell that something was wrong, and then this last month of not being on Patrick's show, and then he kind of went MIA for a lot of people in email, and so since that was so uncharacteristic, you could tell that something was wrong. Okay, so going with this number here. Hey, you got to turn off your speakers. Hello, can you hear us? Okay. Please call back whoever that was. Okay, let's do another one. This is Joey. Connecting. Oh, Joey, you're on the air. What's up?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah. Hey, how are you, sir?
I'm good. How you holding up, big guy?
Pretty bad. Pretty terrible. Let's go.
Yeah, I feel bad following that last phone call. I have the emotional intelligence of like Coco the gorilla.
Well, the floor is yours, buddy. Share anything that you want to.
No, I don't have much to say. I mean, I think I think Ray was sort of a generational genius, sort of a very, very special person. And I think now that he's passed, you know, this is a really special time in human history. And I think things are happening right now that just don't normally happen. And I think things are possible right now. And I feel like maybe he'll get the recognition that he should have had at some point in the future. I think it's very possible. And I think it's very possible that the two of you will play a big part in that. And that's sort of my hope. What will come from this is sort of a tragedy of history that people just don't tend to get the recognition that they deserve while they're alive. So I think that's hopefully the positive and the negative from this, that his ideas and his genius will sort of get out there now that there's an opportunity in the madness that's currently happening.
Well, if nothing else, you'll force people to walk on their own and start applying his ideas, right? And then maybe helping others. The only way this becomes very, very useful for everybody is if basically all the people who he ever helped start doing the same for themselves and for the people around them. You know, it was a giant in terms of his achievements, but one person cannot carry the burden of the entire world on his shoulders. So now it's time for everybody, for all the little Peterians, to start doing what he has done for the last 50 years.
Not even the Bulgarian wizard can carry all that on his back.
Not really, not really. But I'll do my fair share of stirring the pot, because you know, some people are not willing to stir the pot. That's my specialty.
Well, surely Coco the gorilla can carry that much weight, though. What do you think, Joey?
I mean, I'll help as much as I can, man. You know, let me know what you need. But yeah, you know, I mean, it sucks. It always sucks, you know, whenever you like someone, you're friends with someone, you see him kind of suffering. So I just wanted to kind of give a call and, you know, tell you, you know, it'll be all right. You know, we'll soldier on and I think you'll do Ray proud, Danny. I really think you're a special guy too, and I think you've got a lot to give as well. So,
Joey, you're a genius. Thank you so much for calling. Really appreciate it, brother.
All right, thanks, guys.
Take care, man. That's a good guy. Okay,
hold on. Wasn't Coco the gorilla the smartest gorilla there ever was?
You were saying emotional, so was Coco the gorilla an emotionally intelligent animal?
Extremely, basically. Like knew when people were suffering and was capable. I think he knew like 400 words or something. Yeah.
So
before he died, it was a pretty sad situation. He was telling his handler, it's like, you know, kind of trying to tell, look, I'll be gone. Don't be sad. We'll meet again.
Really? That's the only thing I remember is when in the 1990s, my dad worked for PepsiCo, and they had a special tie-in with the movie Congo. Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. Do you remember the Congo movie? It was with gorillas that did sign language. Anyways, it's like the worst movie.
Oh yeah. The lowland gorillas. Yeah.
Yeah. But even when I was a kid, we went to go see the movie, and I remember being like, "That's a really bad film." Okay, let's get another one of these here.
That's all I remember.
Okay, hey, you are on the air. What is your name? And the floor is yours.
Hello. Hey,
how are you?
Doing fine. My name's Carson. How are y'all doing tonight?
Pretty bad, but we'll make it through.
Yeah. When I first heard the news off of Twitter, I thought it was, I wouldn't say like a psyop, but I thought it was kind of like that McAfee guy, or Tupac, quote unquote dying and then going into hiding. But I think it's, more productive to believe he's gone and then work from trying to spread his message and teachings to more people.
I'm up for any conspiracy theory, but I mean, we have confirmation from his widow, so it's not, I don't think, I think the first day it was a little bit sketchy of what exactly was going on, but I think now it's pretty solidified.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
Yeah. When I first heard about Ray, it was from a few forums. I think Anabolic Men and some guy named Christopher Walker. He's like the head of Unzu supplements and stuff like that. But I think what really, initially stuck with me was, the ability to, eat sugar and, have protein and just not necessarily feel bad about it. And the idea of working until essentially your body and mind is broken was inherently just terrible for you. I think when I first heard that from Ray and from the forum, I was just kind of really, surprised. It was like a breath of fresh air. I think the biggest, thing that I've taken away from Ray and his teachings is his kind of, I guess, references to the morphogenetic field that organisms kind of create and how that is like a solidifying and encompassing expression of the organism and its health and its personality as well. It's not something that I've seen talked in medical circles at all, really. And in terms of my own personal life, I can see it with making dietary recommendations to my parents and of loved ones and seeing their quote unquote life force kind of grow and their ability to deal with their environments also grow.
Dude, beautiful. Have you ever seen that frog, the morphogenetic field kind of like forming its face before it grows into it? Have you seen the video?
I've not. No.
It's
interesting.
It's pretty cool. I agree with you. That's not like talked about. Did we talk about that on the show that much, Georgi? Maybe we do.
Couple times, but this is an idea that used to be like in the early 20th century. That's when morphogenetics was mostly studied seriously, and then of course the genetic idea they dropped the morpho. They focused only on the genetics, and it's been like that ever since. Lately, it's been changing a little bit though. There is a website that Ray recommended called Cellular Intelligence. If you type it in Google, I think it's like from Columbia University or something. That kind of shows you what the cell is capable of, even at the individual cellular level. And if you combine several of these cells, then you get like a much more complex intelligence that affects its surroundings as well. So yeah, I haven't seen many researchers talk much about this. It's the only one who's kind of famous, who's kind of given a little bit of a limelight, is Rupert Sheldrake. But he did a couple of studies on sort of like morphogenetic resonance in regards to learning. And after that, the scientific community, quote unquote, declared him a quack, because he was saying that subsequent generations of, I think it was chicks that he was doing the experiments with, will basically, like, if each generation of chicks is taught to learn a very complex task, then each subsequent generation will be able to basically learn that task much faster, even if it's not genetically related or like descendant from these chicks, right? And the way he explained it is that basically, like, we're participating into a common consciousness, so to speak, and we're feeding into it. That by the way, that idea was the very core of the writings of the physicist David Bohm. And I think Ray mentioned him a few times as well. I was very fond of his work. But Rupert Sheldrake is the only person who I think still works on this idea and is given publicity. Not anymore, but if you type morphogenetic fields, chances are the results from Google will probably be about him and nothing else. The rest will be probably either some very suspicious websites, or Google will just try to like feed you something that they think you're looking for, but it has nothing to do with the
be a Balenciaga ad when you search for it.
Well, you get what kind of ads? What kind of ads you getting?
That's what I wanted.
Balenciaga. I was joking.
No.
Any last thoughts, sir?
Actually, there's these chick experiments actually are like incredibly interesting, Georgi. I'll take a look at that. It also kind of plays into like collective unconscious, and I remember like I don't know if it was a study or what, or some analysis of, chimpanzees upstream of a river learn how to like spearfish, and tribes like downstream somehow like learn this through a generation without even, having communication. By the way, yeah, learning about morphogenetic fields and the kind of EMF that active respirating cells kind of emit, playing into cellular coherence. These things aren't really talked about, and it was just great to see this in Ray's writing, and in my own personal experience, I honestly don't know where my life would be without his writings or guidance, and he certainly encouraged me to be a better man. So I how do I say? Even though the person may be gone, you know, these fragments and these, you know, kind of little beams of reflections and light, you know, kind of live through all of us because we were touched by this guy. So it's beautiful. Yeah. Rest in peace.
Hey, thanks for sharing that.
Thank you.
Sincerely appreciate it.
All right. Good luck, guys.
Thanks, brother. Take care. Okay. Man, we're after some hiccups. We're really getting some solid calls here. Thanks, guys.
Don't jinx it.
Now I'm scared. Okay. Anything you want to say before we jump to the next one?
Oh, I mean, because a lot of people, some people posted on the forum, but somebody asked him about, you know, the life after death, and he said that's, you know, it's kind of like erroneous to think of like separate living organisms. It's just one life with a certain number of bodies, and because we share into this common consciousness, even though one body is gone, the mind of that person is still out there. It's just now spread into like all of the remaining bodies that they can tap into this collective consciousness.
Yeah.
So nothing's really gone. Nothing is ever created. Nothing's ever destroyed. It just is. And it's just appearances, like the physicist David Bohm said. So there was the appearance, physical appearance of Ray Peat, but what was really underneath it is still there. It's,
dude, I got it right here. This was like the killer quote. I think this is kind of what you're talking about. Oh no. Oh yeah. Okay. I understand this is off topic, but what you typically teach, but I was wondering, I was wondering if you have run across any information or learned on your own things that can help people grieve over loss of loved ones and the fear of losing others. Thank you. It activates the helplessness reaction in the body. Stress weakens your own life. And I think it can help to get out of that if you think of your life as a continuation of theirs, the same life through with fewer bodies. So exactly what you said. He had one other.
And on an even grander scale, I think it helps to think of stuff outside of you. You're not the living organism. I mean, life is not a collection of living organisms. Life is life in which basically there's this appearance of separation, but it's really one process underneath. That was the implicate order of David Bohm's writings in idea in quantum physics. So it's just appearances of these bodies as separate. That's totally illusory. It's basically just the way we kind of interact with each other, right? Bohm's idea was that, you know, the universe the implicate order creates this explicit order, and it appears separate because it's needed in order to be able to interact with each other and generate novelty. But all of this novelty feeds back into the implicate order through our consciousness, of which is one for everybody.
This is a little bit too long to read, but somebody can pause the screen and read that. It's a pretty cool response. Okay, let's take another one, and we'll go with this person. Okay, caller, you are on the air. What is your name? And the floor is yours. Caller?
Hi,
hey.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, all good.
Okay. I'm James. I literally just called in, so thank you for taking my call here. I found out about Ray, I think about 8 years ago. I was a vegan, and I was really struggling with veganism and kind of like desperately searching online for information. And somehow I stumbled upon the Ray Peat forum, and everything that I read on there in terms of mainly like about fat soluble vitamins, because that was the main issue with the vegan diet, and, you know, zinc and all the different minerals and things like that. It totally changed my life. Like I started eating liver and zinc. And if I look at my life path, where it was going, versus where it ended up as a result of making changes like that. It's quite profound, and it's all, you can trace it all back to Ray Peat. So I'm extremely thankful for him kind of working away on his own for years, just publishing on his own little website, and a community of people growing over time, kind of like practicing what he was talking about and trying it out for themselves and sharing their results and things like that, and sharing that all with people. And the ripple effects of it are crazy. So I agree with a lot of what people were saying. It's kind of like a generational talent, and the ripple effects of it are going to last for a very long time. And it's really beautiful. Like, a lot of his stuff, he wasn't like preaching what you should do. He was just doing research on his own and sharing what he discovered. I don't know. It's a very unique type of person. So there's very few people that I felt emotionally connected to in like the public sphere. And I was surprised. Like, when he died, I cried. And I was surprised by that. But it's just because he's had such a big impact, I think, on a lot of people. And then especially when I was reading on Twitter and how many people were impacted, and it's like there's a very large community of people that know about Ray Peat, much larger than I ever thought when I first was looking on the forum 8 years ago. And yeah, I don't know. It's kind of crazy that, in the future, a lot of these ideas, anti-seed oils, pro-fat soluble vitamins, pro-sugar, pro-saturated fats, all these ideas are kind of like downstream or adjacent to Ray Peat work. And even today, you see a lot of these ideas becoming more and more mainstream. So it's just crazy. It's such an inspirational story, and such like an exemplar of someone pursuing the truth, or what they thought was the truth, or just learning and then sharing their ideas, and just slowly over time, the truth of those ideas gaining more and more support and following. So yeah, it's just a really beautiful thing, I think.
James, sincerely appreciate you, man. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Brother, have a great rest of your evening. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye, brother. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so let's get to... Okay, Darren, we're going to accept the call here. Connecting with audio, Darren.
Why does he do that, but only for some people?
Well, some people are calling in by phone. Others are using the computer.
Oh,
hey, Darren.
Hey, guys.
Hey,
can you hear me?
Yeah, you're going to have to use headphones, though. Can you hear us? Darren.
I can hear you, but you guys have an echo, right?
Yeah. You just got to make sure you're using headphones. Hey, brother, I'll call you back, okay? I'm gonna drop you. I'll call you back, I promise. Okay, let me not report to Zoom. Okay, then we're gonna take a phone call. Caller, you are on the air. Your name and the floor is yours. Caller? Caller, can you hear us? Okay. Call back and I will possibly pick you again. Okay, let's do this person.
Hello?
Hey,
Hello?
Caller, your name and the floor is yours.
Oh, hi, this is Melissa. I tried back on my phone because
hey, thanks for doing that.
I couldn't get on. Yeah, no, I'm really glad because, wow, thank you so much for doing this. And I mean, I don't think I've ever cried so much in my life as I have the last 24 hours. Dr. Peat was so special to me. I have known him for 25 years. He saved my life. I was poisoned on estrogen for 12 years, from 17 until 28. I wandered into a bookstore. I was in New York City, like out of my mind. I literally was not in my body. I mean, I think I would have been dead like in 6 months. And there was a medical student there who heard me. I shared my story, and he was extremely worried about me, and he just handed me the book, and I have the book today. It's completely tattered, but it's intact. But it's the PMS to Menopause book.
Wow.
And my brain was so fried after 12 years of that stuff. I don't even know how I understood the book, but I understood enough to know that I was in trouble, and I cried, and I called the number because he was doing phone consultations at that time. You know, this was back in the olden days before any of you guys were around. And so I had my phone consultation with him. And I mean, I went off all the estrogen. That was about the only thing I really knew how to do at that time. To be honest with you, I was like in Alzheimer's disease. And I took his natural progesterone. They told me I would never get pregnant. I unexpectedly got pregnant like a year and a half later. I ovulated for the first time 6 months later after going off everything. I went through puberty at almost 30. I have a very unusual story. And he was just always there for me. I had a very traumatic life. I was in New York City, and as in that state, I just really couldn't handle very much. But I just kept in touch with him. And then he saved my life again in my late 30s. I had a complete crisis and meltdown. I never really fully recovered. And that's when I had my breakthrough. He gave me his phone number. I spoke to him every day for about a month, calling him from New York City. He always picked up the phone. I mean, he's just such an amazing, beautiful, loving, wonderful, angelic soul. And I am just, I'm so, I just didn't realize that he was really like my father in his life. And how much he meant to me, you know, until yesterday. I don't think I understood the full depth of it. But I'm a lawyer. I'm in the freedom fight for humanity right now. He's shaped my entire life, the work that I'm doing. We're doing a huge class action against Gilead for the remdesivir deaths in the hospitals. Everything that he's written about has just informed my entire life, my mission. I was going to write a book with him, and I have to do it now and dedicate it to him. I have a lot of material. So I'm just going to use this to do what Georgi said today, you know, to carry on his beauty through me and just do everything I possibly can to get this information out there and try to make a dent in this thing that's going on right now, you know, that's disturbing us all so much with this authoritarianism and big pharma, all of it, you know. I'm going to put all my energy into being the best advocate I can for humanity.
One day when you're suing Fauci and putting him in jail, you'll be fulfilling not just Ray's ideals, but Ivan Illich's as well.
Yeah.
A lot going on there.
Do you know who David Martin is? There is an effort going on as we speak to do exactly what you just said. He's doing a criminal prosecution. So there's I would love to be on someday, Danny. I know we talked about this. I have a lot to share. There's a lot of amazing efforts going on right now that a lot of people may not know about. But I'm involved in some massive efforts.
That sounds good. I mean, David E. Martin was making some grim predictions about things that were going to happen before 2028. It was really unsettling. Do you want to plug the class action lawsuit? Could people contact you to? I'm an idiot. I don't know how class action lawsuits work. Is that something?
Well, actually, we're trying to raise money for it. We're just a group of lawyers. We don't have a law firm. We have hundreds of thousands of victims. I mean, I have been dealing with tragedy every single day. Dr. Peat knew about it. He was about to come on to a meeting that we do. I wanted him to be involved. And then he shared with me, you know, he was having some struggles, but, you know, he knew about what I was doing and was supportive. So we do have some efforts to raise money. And I put one of them on the forum where they can buy a bracelet that says they're allergic to remdesivir and several of the other toxic drugs. And it's going to support our lawsuit. So I don't know, can I send something to you or to publicize that?
Can you at least send it to me? I haven't seen that one actually. I'll contribute financially.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that'd be great if you could publicize it because we really want to bring this case, but we can't file it until we have some sort of, you know, cushion because it's very expensive and none of us can afford to do it. Yeah. But, you know, it's a really important case and it might expose, it doesn't involve the vaccine. So I believe that it can really make a difference because maybe even people who are indoctrinated with that can see what happened in the hospitals. You know, they might be able to appreciate that more and understand it. But it's huge. I mean, I can't even tell you the heartbreak of these people that have been contacting us daily for the last at least year and a half. It's very, a pervasive thing that's going on.
Yeah, disheartening to say the least. Hey, Melissa, thank you so much for sharing that. Really appreciate you. Give Georgie the contact info, and we'll talk about it in the next show.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Melissa. Take care.
Thanks, Melissa. You're doing God's work. Don't stop.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. I will. I'm doing it for Dr. Peat. Bye.
Okay, let's do that. Okay, let me just. Let's do the. This is gonna be our buddy Jack from Analyze and Optimize. Hey, Jack,
oh, cool.
you're on. Oh no,
not yet.
Hey, Jack, you're on. You're on. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
How are you?
Good.
The floor is yours.
Gotcha. I had to close that the stream.
Okay,
to get it to work.
No worries.
Thanks for getting me on, guys. Yes, sad news. Just wanted to say, I guess, that I'll keep it short, but with our channel, we would probably be still telling people to do keto and fasting and stuff, and we would actually be like hurting people, trying to help them if we didn't find you guys and Peat, through you guys. So thank you guys for that. And, thanks to Ray for really, we could have went our whole lives, telling people to do keto to fix all their problems. And now we're actually helping people. And I think the silver lining is that, when a lot of people die, you don't have really much to remember them by, but with Ray, we're going to have, there's so much to read and so much content that you guys have put out talking to him. You could literally spend a lifetime like really digesting all the information, thinking about ways to apply it to different situations. So I guess I just wanted to say that, and thank you for you guys. If it wasn't for you guys, we probably wouldn't have found Peat. So really appreciate that. And, if any way I could help you guys or Ray's family, just let me know. Just send us an email. We'll be here.
Hey, you and Dalton are doing absolutely incredible work, because I think of you guys as like the next generation, because Georgie and I don't have video editing skills and stuff. And so there's only going to be this limited audience that we could ever reach. But like, for example, I know you released it a few months ago, but you guys had done something about like the Bohr effect, and it was like 30 seconds. And I was like, man, this is more clear than like hours of us talking about it. Like, and I just don't have those skills. And I was just so appreciative of you guys, because visual aids are so critical, and there's only so far I can get with my bad Photoshop. So it's, I think you guys are doing seriously important work. And the fact that you guys landed on Ray as some viable source of information is incredible. And I think you guys are doing amazing things.
And one more thing, the fact that you're getting assaulted online by MDs means you're doing something very, very good and very correct.
Yeah, true. Also.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate that. And if you ever wanted to do something together where we could edit or whatever, just,
Yeah, just don't put background music on it though. Just joking.
Yeah. After all the comments on that, I don't think I'll make that mistake again.
Emblazed into your brain, right?
Yeah.
I remember firing up that interview to listen to, and I was like, oh no, I think they're going to get endless shit for the background music.
Yeah. Maybe in the future we'll release one without it, or I wish I could go back and change that. I thought it'd be like a good vibe.
Yeah, dude, I feel it. I could care less, to be honest with you, but you know what? I listen to most interviews on 2X. And so I think that's what would really annoy people, is if the music was on 2X while you're listening to a person. But dude, it doesn't matter. Dude, Georgie and I are happy to go back on whenever you want. So you just tell us and it will happen.
Sweet. Sounds good. Will do. And just hang in there, guys. Like I said, feel free to reach out for anything.
Oh, and then plug your stuff real fast, just so everybody knows who you are.
Oh yeah, you could find us on YouTube at Analyze and Optimize. We used to talk low carb, and now we're into the bioenergetic stuff. We try to, use Ray's and your guys' work and visually portray it into different ideas. You can find us on Twitter also at Outdoctrination, like indoctrination, but with an out instead of the end.
Excellent.
Brilliant, brother.
Great name.
Thank you, Georgie.
Thanks, Jack. Tell Dalton we said hi.
Will do. Thanks again, guys.
Bye, brother.
Bye.
That was fun. Okay. Georgie, you're good for 2 hours, so we're about 1:20 right now. That's okay.
No problem, man.
Okay, this is our buddy DBO 514.
Sleep is for the weak. It's just for as long as you need me.
Okay, we're joining here. Thanks, guys. We really appreciate it. This has been extremely fun, cathartic, and therapeutic. So appreciate you guys. DBO 514. We're trying to get you in on this, but it seems to be stagnant. Okay, we're gonna have to try another one. Okay, I have to try another one here. Okay, okay, RR, you are on the air, your name, and the floor is yours.
Cool. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, all good.
Awesome. I probably won't share my name.
No worries, no worries.
But yeah, I mean, it's amazing hearing from all the folks that have come so far to speak about their experiences. I mean, they themselves are doing some pretty amazing things. So I feel like we're in good hands even after Ray is gone. But I just wanted to make the point that Ray was really the first person who kind of made it clear that the only thing that you should care about is yourself and your ability to make sense of the world and the feelings that come with it. Because ultimately it's your senses and the feelings they produce that are the compass that you have in this life. And it's a very rare sentiment to for anyone to express. Usually like your own individuality and ability are downplayed. But I always appreciated that fact that Ray made it feel like you're the main character in this story. And almost like there's nobody else around you, but in like the best way possible. So really appreciated that.
Dude, poetic, brother. Thank you for sharing that.
For sure. Thanks, guys.
Take care, brother.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Dude, it was something the caller Melissa said that I've heard from so many different people is that they just had like weekly calls with Ray. and so it's just, and then I had heard this a long time ago that, so there was a store in San Francisco, I think it was called Vitamin Express, and they used to buy big boxes of Progest from Kenogen, and they, I think I had told the person, the guy that's associated with this product is named Peat or something. And they're like, oh yeah, like a woman came in here and she was having lots of problems and she bought a bottle of Progest and we had like Ray's number or something. And we get, and I'm fucking up the story. Anyways, long story short, like the woman just started calling Ray and he would just like pick up her calls and just like help her out. It's just like some random person who
does that, right? I mean, not anymore. It doesn't happen anymore.
But it was again, it couldn't have been more random because I was in this vitamin shop buying the Progest in San Francisco, and it was just like, oh yeah, this guy like talked to this woman about how to use Progest for her problems. It was just insane. Okay.
Nothing's random, man. We just like, we just need to reach. We need to reach to the complexity of our consciousness that we understand that nothing's random. I think that's actually probably the most destructive concept in everyday culture, the idea of randomness. Because for me, at least to me, it goes hand in hand. To me, they're synonyms with nihilism. And that's what's basically destroying societies around the world right now. And that's really like the underpinning idea of this toxic system that we live on. It's the nihilism and the randomness. If we like whoever finds a way to basically convince themselves through experience, not just some logical arguments, that both of these ideas are complete bunk, I think that almost nothing can gaslight or manipulate that person going forward.
Like everything that happens, there's meaning behind it, there's reason, and you can extract value from it.
Yeah, and that was David's Bohm's, in my opinion, that was his ultimate idea, to tell people that you need to get rid of this idea of randomness because it's destructive for every thought process that you have, because you always second guess yourself and saying like, well, hold on a second. How do I know that there's a meeting? How do I know that there's a process there, right? I mean, the entire Greek civilization was based on the idea of the logos. And we need to go back to that, right? Because all of this talk about randomness, it's provably false. And if you look at the evidence, it should be sufficient to convince you. But even beyond that, because you shouldn't be only relying on other people's work. Like once you start paying attention into your life, and they will, again, to refer to David Bohm's, when he was talking to his spiritual advisor, I think it's Krishnamurti was called. He kept saying about, well, you need to meditate. Doesn't mean sitting on a rock. There's a Scientific American article about this meeting. Doesn't mean you need to sit in a rock in a lotus position and do incantations, right? All it means is that you need to be focused on what's going on and try to see the meaning in it. And the more often you do that in your life, both Bohm and that Indian guru believe that the world will become more ordered, because the world that we see is the result of our inner thought processes and just the way we interact with each other.
Well said. Okay, let's jump to, this Darren has been waiting. DBO 514, I will get you next. Let's go to Darren. Waiting.
Just this message is just so weird. Oh, there you go.
Hey, Darren. Sorry about that earlier. You're on.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Thanks for bringing me in, guys.
Yeah,
It's 4 a.m. here, so I'm a little bit.
No worries, brother. The floor is yours. So give us your 4 a.m. thoughts.
Yeah, I just want to say my condolences to Ray and his family and to you guys. He had a profound impact on my life. It's hard to explain. I never met the man. I came across him through you and Georgie's Generative Energy podcast when I was living out in Singapore. And it was the stuff to take in at the start is kind of, it's a lot. It's kind of counterintuitive to everything you're taught growing up in terms of exercise, health, and, just a small Ray story. I was playing semi-professional soccer out there, and I met a Serbian guy called Alex Doric, who had actually relocated to Singapore during the troubles in that part of the world back in the 80s, and declared citizenship for the Singapore national soccer team, and actually went on to become their most capped player. And he was in his 50s when I met him, and he was still playing pro ball. And we were sitting down having a couple of mango smoothies in a smoothie joint in Singapore one time, and I asked him, I was like, "What's the secret to your longevity?" And he started talking about Ray Peat, and I just laughed, because you had an Irish guy and a Serbian guy who was now Singaporean citizenship, sitting down having a couple of mango smoothies, and we started talking about Ray Peat for about 4 hours. It was insane. And he attributed a lot of the stuff he learned through his playing career. He had actually gone vegetarian at the time, so he'd given up meat, but he was, still slamming lots of milk, eggs and fruits. And the guy was in incredible shape. And it was just funny to me that, most people I've spoken to down through the years wouldn't have a clue who Ray is, but to me, his work is just, as I said, had such a profound impact on my life, from diet to health to lifestyle to how I view the world, how I view relationships with people, and to you guys as well. Honestly, your podcast down through the last 5 or 6 years, I think number 90 up on the screen here. I've been listening to since day one. You guys have covered some amazing stuff and topics, and Yeah, I hope you're both doing all right. I mean, I'm pretty shook up. It sucks. When I saw it on Facebook, I kind of thought, wow, it's been a long time since I had any sort of emotional reaction to news, you know, and yeah, it hit me hard. So just want to say thanks to you guys, because without you, I don't think I would have ever come across Ray, which is kind of funny. I often think back to how I found his work, and I think it was through your podcast. So I can't thank you enough. And yeah, I just hope you guys continue doing what you're doing and spreading the message and talking about the topics that Ray loved to talk about. And Danny, just echo what you said. It was like you could ask him anything and he would have a response or some sort of insight, whether it was, you know, fixing the leak under the sink to, you know, why are the leaves going bright? He seemed to have this all encompassing encyclopedic knowledge. And it was just, you know, it's refreshing. And from a generational aspect, he was the same age as my grandpa when he died. And I lost him when I was young, and that generation were a different elk, right? I mean, they're the last of, I think, what was, to me, really decent human beings, their morals, their principles. And Ray reminded me of a granddad. You know, he was like the granddad we all kind of had, who just happened to be this encyclopedic genius that could contribute on pretty much any topic that we ever talked about. So, yeah, thank you guys. Really appreciate it. And my condolences and sympathies go out to you and to his family. And yeah, thanks for bringing me on. Much love, guys.
That's more coherent than anything I've ever thought up at 4 a.m. So, hey, Darren, really appreciate it. Amazing. Thank you.
The best tribute to Ray. If his ideas are keeping you that coherent at 4 a.m., is he doing something right?
It's the Häagen-Dazs, Georgie.
Good, excellent. I love the rum and raisin. I don't know what's your favorite.
See you guys.
Hey, Darren, thanks again. Take care, brother. Okay, damn, these calls are so good. Okay, let's let me kick off Darren. Oh, he's up. Okay. Okay, DBO 514.
Is this the name of the phone? Like, what's up with that name?
No, it's his handle. I think he's on the Ray Peat forum, or he's been a long time Ray person. Hey, DBO 514, you're on the air. How are you, sir?
Hey guys.
Hey, what's up?
Hey guys.
Hey, your floor is yours, buddy.
Yeah, but I'm just hearing an echo here.
It's probably on your end.
Yeah, definitely on my end.
You can call back. I'll pick up again if you want.
Yeah, I'll call back. It's not working.
All right, cool, bro. Okay. Let me kick my buddy. Okay. We're just gonna pick up a random number here. It's 1:30. I hope the chicken coop is not burning down. I don't think it is. Hey, caller, you're on the air. Your name, and then the floor is yours. Hello.
Hey, Danny.
Hey.
Let me get my headphones in real quick.
Take your time.
Okay, can you hear me?
All good. Maybe we can't hear you.
Yeah, thanks. Okay.
Now we can.
So, all right. So,
hey, your audio is you dropped him. Okay,
Lost him.
Christina. Call back, caller. We'll pick you up again. Thanks for calling. Oh, hey, Christina, you're on air. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're all good. The floor is yours.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. And what a beautiful way to honor Dr. Peat, Danny, and
I was going to say, don't make me cry again.
I'm doing consultations with Danny, and he's phenomenal. So I recommend people join his Patreon.
You made him cry during the consultations? What did you do?
I told him I bought a bunch of your stuff, Georgie.
Oh my God.
Then I tears.
Actually, I did. I bought some K2. Thank you very much. So I just wanted to share a testimonial. But before that, I want to mention I came across Dr. Peat first through Danny's book, Hair Like a Fox, and his program, Organizing the Panic, when I was frantically trying to reverse some hair loss during college 8 years ago. And I just was captivated with Dr. Peat ever since. And from the bottom of my heart, Danny, thank you, because I wouldn't have found him if I didn't first find your book. And I know that the work that you both are doing is making him very proud, and his legacy will carry on with courageous individuals like you two and others who are going to continue to spread his work. So thank you. And my heart goes and my prayers go out to Catherine. Talk about an amazing woman. I've never met her, but I don't think that Dr. Peat could have accomplished anywhere near what he did without such a supportive and loving partner. And I have a feeling that she believed in his research and his potential well before anyone else did. So my heart and prayers go out to her. And my testimonial that I want to share is kind of an embarrassing story that I haven't opened up with to a lot of people yet, but Dr. Peat saved my teeth. I had silent acid reflux that plagued me for several years. I was on the standard American diet growing up, and I always felt like a warmth in my esophagus after eating meals growing up, but I didn't realize what it was. And I wasn't smart enough to tell my parents, but it got really worse with a lot of stress a couple years ago. And I was fortunate enough to have had the privilege and honor of speaking with him regularly and asking him for his help and for his advice. Ultimately, I did need to get about 150 fillings to stabilize my teeth since I had a lot of exposed dentin from the acid damage. But after the fillings, with Dr. Peat's advice on how to be able to get my gut to be moving faster and rinsing with baking soda water after every meal and just increasing the calcium, and after the acid reflux significantly improved, I got a second opinion from a dentist, one of the top dentists in the country, who told me that with the amount of fillings that I currently had, there'd be no way that I could save my tooth, and either I have to get a full set of implants or a full set of crowns. And Dr. Peat told me that he didn't believe that that was necessary, that it was critical to hold on to the full structure of the tooth as long as you could, to maintain your jaw health as well. And with the protocol that he put me on, I was able to basically save my teeth. And I've been seeing an amazing dentist who, who was able to tell me that he has not seen any cavities, and that things look amazing and well under control. And he even asked me, can you let me know what your home protocol is? And I just told him that I was doing what Dr. Peat recommended. So he's an amazing guy. And I think one attribute that I will never forget about Dr. Peat is he had such a phenomenal way of making you feel like you could basically accomplish anything. And I think that comes with just how gracious he was, how much he answered generously any question anybody had, and never made them feel like their question was too small or below him. So he will be greatly missed.
Christina, you're amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you, Danny.
Appreciate it. Talk to you soon. Man, what a solid bunch of calls. Okay, let's do DBO 514 again. Okay. Connecting to audio. DBO, you're back. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm here.
You're on your name, and if you want to give it, and the floor is yours.
So my name's David. So I've used a couple of weird, like.
Hey, we're getting feedback.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I'll call back again.
Okay, I'll pick up again.
We're here.
Okay. Take care, brother. Okay, we're getting to the last of them. This is good. This person has been waiting for like 2 hours. So
I like that. He or she cares.
Person on an iPhone. All right, can you hear us? I don't think so. iPhone person, call back if you wanted to say something. I'm just going to remove you. And this person's been waiting a long time.
Oh, it would give like an indication whether there's an actual like a voice channel established. Or the only way to test is like to ask.
Oh, hey Thomas, can this was not, there wasn't a ton of thought going into how we were going to take calls on this show. So that's why this is so ridiculously sloppy. Hey, Thomas, you're on air. How are you, sir?
I'm here.
Hey, brother, the floor is yours.
Okay, putting in my headphones. Let's see. All right, come in. Do you hear me?
Yeah, all good.
Okay, let's see if this works. Okay, where do I begin? So I've been around since 2015, and you guys have been a very important part of my life. Ray has been a tremendous part of my life. I went through some difficulties in 2016, and Ray really gave me a lot of insight and a lot of help. And something that I really want to share that I haven't been able to communicate publicly is that I was able to sustain my remission from type 1 diabetes for 3.5 years by using Ray Peat's insights. And I think that that is a tremendously unique experience. And I believe that Ray's ideas will be healing people of these kinds of diseases in the future. And I want to give like some context in how I view Ray historically. I see Ray as the continuation of a long lineage of thinkers that goes back to Lamarck, to Hippocrates, the empiricists, and at the time that he was born in the 1930s, it's a very unique time for him to have been born. He had the opportunity to be influenced by the last remaining empiricists as the kind of pharmaceutical industry was taking over and shutting down this many thousand year effort in building human wisdom of healing. And he is kind of the sole force that has been able to continue that wisdom into the modern age. And if he wasn't around, I believe that we would have lost that lineage. And because of him, I think that people like you two will be able to pick it up and to continue that that great effort. And it's a very difficult thing because he really was my hero. So, and you guys are my heroes too. And the quote about the continuation of life in fewer bodies, I think that is a very tremendous task that we all have. I believe that we're all going to have to work extremely hard with fewer bodies in order to try to continue Ray's work. And yet I think that there is something that is forever lost, and it's the nuance that Ray had. And, you know, the surprising responses to emails that you would have never been able to expect. And I guess that's as much as I can manage to say. So thank you all for gathering this.
Hey, dude, thanks for sharing that. You have a website though. Are you still writing on that?
Oh yeah. Thanks for asking. I'm writing an article right now that I was hoping to show Ray that I think he would have been very proud of. He helped me to figure out that my girlfriend was struggling with a damaged parathyroid based off of the early observations by W.F. Koch on parathyroid in the 1910s. I just spent the last few weeks reading all of Koch's original discoveries on the parathyroid and hoping to publish it and dedicate it to Ray in the next couple of weeks. And I would also like to thank Georgi and thank you both for taking a look at my previous articles. Ray also read them and supported me as I was writing those.
You sent me the immunity article and I was like, this is way above my intelligence level. I don't even have anything to say about this. So, dude, you're doing really good work. I'd love to read the parathyroid article, and you have a lot to offer. I think you're again, you've been around for a long time, and I think you're hyper intelligent. And again, your work was extremely in depth, and it looked like you put a lot of effort into it.
Thank you for saying that, and I really hope that we can continue the great work.
Thomas, hey, thank you for calling so much. Sincerely appreciate it. You're a genius, brother.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, guys.
Don't stop. Keep going.
I will. I promise you, I will.
Okay. Bye-bye. Take care. We forgot to ask for his website. I think it was Thomas. Are you still there? Hey, Thomas.
Hey, am I still here?
Yeah, just give us your website.
Excellent. Look.
Okay, it's my name with my middle initial because somebody else took the website before I was fast enough. It's thomasdpereira.com. I can spell my last name. It's Pereira. So Thomas D. Pereira. And honestly, with this kind of encouragement of this moment, I think I'll try to be a bit more prolific, and also to honor Ray, who was extremely prolific.
Yeah, dude, amazing. Send me your PTH article. I'll forward it when you're done with it.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, brother, take care. Okay. Okay, a few more here. It's 1 hour and 40 minutes. I am pretty exhausted, but we still have colors. So this is
if it wasn't for the massive dose of cyperheptadine I took an hour before the show, I would probably be like, I don't know.
Hey,
not hibernating, but I'll be in a pretty bad spot, pretty dark place.
Hey, Matt, you're on air. Can you hear us? No. Oh shit. Yeah, you took a cyperheptadine before this. I'd be laid out on this table, unable to function.
Well, if you take it for about a week, basically the entire drowsiness effect disappears.
Man, I've heard.
So I just make sure to take because you don't want to take it every day, right? But if you take it, like, let's say once you get the drowsiness, like if you take it daily for a week, then the drowsiness is gone. Only the anti-serotonin and anticholinergic effects remain, which are great. And so after that, basically, in order to not lose it, because if you stop completely after about a week and then you take it again, then it's going to be, you have to suffer again. But if you take it like once or twice a week, even 1 milligram is enough to like give you like to keep the drowsiness adaptability going. And then you can take like a heavier dose if you want, but you don't get drowsier. So just before the show, I took 16 milligrams.
Jesus Christ.
So if I seem a little like way too aloof for what's going on, that's the reason.
You just seem like normal Georgi to me.
I mean, it's, considering what's going on around us, you gotta, and again, in honor of Ray Peat, this was what he recommended back in the day that got me out of a pretty bad place.
It's probably the first episode we probably talked about this, the cyperheptadine.
Yeah. Cyperheptadine. Yeah.
Okay,
it's really a wonder drug. I mean, yeah. So not that I'm recommending or encouraging anybody today, but like if you find yourself in a really like a learn helpless situation where, a loved one is gone or you feel like everything's, desperate and there's no hope, cyperheptadine can help. It will not change the reality, but it will make you see things different.
The cyperheptadine, a wonder drug, was one of the things I think that got me to contact you to do the podcast. Because I was like, damn, this guy has like categorized all the anti-endorphin and anti-ACTH and stuff. I was like, this guy must really know what he's talking about. Okay, so let's.
And Ray's email to me that mentioned cyperheptadine, he had like basically like, even though it was a study or two, because he didn't want to overwhelm me, but he did mention anti-endorphin, antihistamine, anti-estrogen. Very interesting. Like I didn't know at the time, but one of the studies that he referenced was that basically like that the antihistamines can work as antiestrogens, right? But the article that specifically he sent was basically that it could be like a aromatase inhibitor, all of these things. I'm like, wow, like what is this that this drug cannot do? So yeah, that's how it started.
Okay, let's finish up some of these people have been waiting for a long time. Okay, Fernando, we're trying to get you to join here. Might not happen. Okay, now we're trying Tony. Okay, Tony, can you hear us?
Nice picture.
Tony.
Guys, can you hear me?
Hey, brother. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, all good. The floor is yours, brother.
Hey, can you? I'm pretty good. I'm going to mute my side because I'm talking to you through a microphone also. No headphones over here.
Okay, no worries.
I'm calling actually from Mexico. Ray absolutely changed my life. I found Ray through Danny. Just like an inquisitive guy, man. Just like, I was just like, wow, what is this stuff? You know, like, what is this stuff? He shook up my world. He made me believe that, you know, you don't always have the answer. And when you don't always have the answer, you're probably in the place where you need to be. Like how he I'm paraphrasing, but you know, go into the unknown. And I was really stressed during the coronavirus. I was really stressed out. I was just going through it. And I remember somebody calling and saying, you know, what should you do if your environment gets too tough? And we said, leave. and that was the answer I actually needed to hear. And I took a trip to Mexico, and I've been out here ever since. And it's been a life-changing experience. It's been the greatest experience of my life. And I would not be here if it wasn't for Ray and doing that. And yeah, he changed my life with that information, with everything he's done. I'm a kid from urban, tough environment. You know, you don't see a lot of guys out here just doing what I'm doing, and it's crazy. And then I used to just think it was just only black people that got the hard end of the stick. And Ray actually, you know, he gave me the language to understand corruption. He gave me the language to understand, you know, just a lot of what's going on in the world. I didn't really have that understanding. And I see a lot of things through his lens and the language that he put in his work. And I'm just so grateful. I'm just so grateful to have been able to experience him while he was alive. And I'm so grateful for you, Danny, for sharing and living in his spirit. You do it, and you too, Georgie.
Thank you.
You guys have directly impacted me. I'm talking to you right now with a smelly dog who's just run for the first time on the beach. Because Ray said the best fruits was in Guadalajara, so I went out there, man, and I found this dog.
Diamante.
This dog I was gonna give to Danny because he started peeing on the bed like the first day. So I emailed Danny like, "Yo, you want this dog?" He was like, "Nah, man, I got sick chickens.
I got sick chickens to
sneezing chickens too."
Right now, man, he's like,
okay,
my best friend, and it's like, it's amazing. And I'm just so grateful, man. I'm so grateful for all of you guys. I'm grateful for Ray, grateful for you, Danny, grateful for you, Georgie, man, and Ray was a real brave guy, and you guys are exceptionally brave. I really admire how brave you guys are. I tell a lot of people about you, man, and I hope to exercise more bravery and be more giving the way you guys are with your time and your energy, and like how Ray was as well. And hopefully I have something to offer to the community, and hopefully we all can play our part in carrying on Ray's work. I haven't figured out how my part is involved in that, but I'm just here to say everybody that I'm here. And man, I love all of you guys. This is the greatest community on earth, man. And rest in peace to Ray Peat.
Hey Tony, I don't think you can hear us, but you're the man, brother. Thank you so much for calling. Really appreciate it. And
see you guys. I'll leave it there, guys.
Cool, brother. Talk to you soon. Let me know if you're in San Miguel. We'll chill and hang out with sick chickens. Okay, I don't think you can hear us. Take care, Tony. Talk to you soon, brother. Okay, I'm gonna.
Nice picture. It's probably in Mexico.
Yeah, he is here. He literally offered me a dog, and I was like, hey, it's when I had just got chickens, and they can get a disease called like Corza, and the Corza will make their eyes swell up. And so the first time I moved them into like a coop, the first morning I went in to see them, and I had like five chickens at the time, and they all had like encrusted over eyes, and
oh my God,
and they like couldn't see, and I was like, what kind of fucking Hellraiser movie have I like gotten into? These like sick chickens that have like encrusted over eyes that can't see, and I had to like guide them to their food for the first like it was about the worst experience you could possibly have when you're like getting new to an animal. And then Tony was like, "Hey brother, want a dog?" I was like, "I don't know. Nope. Animal should come near me."
You're like, I'm surrounded by cannibalistic chickens. The last thing I need right now is a dog because they'll eat him.
Yeah, Hellraiser chickens in my coop right now. Okay, so let's DBO is back. Okay, let's do that. Buddy, David, right? You're back.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hey, brother, the floor is yours. What's up?
So I guess it's the third time I've tried calling now. There's clearly a delay, but I'll say my piece and then I'll watch you guys afterwards. So I've just been like on the Repeat forum for years. My moniker there is like I think Mr. Chips, I think, something like that. So Ray changed everything for me because basically I think I found him through one of your videos, Danny, and I had no clue what he was talking about. So I just left the video on the side for a couple of years. Then I went back to it when I was really sick and basically dying. And it changed everything because I couldn't breathe. My lungs didn't work. Had heart problems. And I was like 24, 25. So I emailed Ray and I used the Repeat forum and I got better. And now I'm fine. Basically, I'm healthy. And I had exchanges with Ray and it helped me a lot. And to echo somebody else's message earlier, my grandpa was born in 36 like Ray. So he felt like a grandpa figure or father figure to me. And he was tremendous. And I think he gave us all hope and life. And hopefully that's what I'll carry with me for the rest of my life.
David, your posts are always so good. You're just a really intelligent, thoughtful guy. Until anytime I've ever seen any of your content, you're also just a very kind person. Like so again, you've always come across excellent, and you have a lot to offer, and I appreciate you.
Thanks, Danny. Thanks to you, Georgie, too.
Thank you.
Take care, brother.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, just a few more here. Okay, remove David. Okay. Next person, a phone call. Hello, can you hear us? Caller, you're on the air. The floor is yours. Oh, they're gone. Okay, here's another person. Georgie, are you still there?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, sorry. I thought it froze. Caller, can you hear us?
I move so little.
Hey, caller, you're on there. What's up?
It's Chuck here.
Hey, Chuck, how are you?
Long time follower. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, Danny. How are you?
Good, man. Oh, I mean, terrible, but okay.
I hope you guys are holding together okay. Yeah, long time follower of you guys. First time caller, of course. Just felt like I should say something on this occasion. Ray is life-changing, and thank you to all the callers who've been before. Just because, I think he's kind of just the unsung hero of the health space, and you guys have given him a platform, and we all have so much to be grateful for just the wealth of information that he's given. Just today, I have random conversations with people about, everyone tries to get me off caffeine, and it's just, I always remember that quote from Ray about you should really think of caffeine more as like a vitamin. Just things like that. And even today I was thinking before I got this news, about how grief and my experiences with grief, how it affects your metabolism and how you guys will be going through this too. Like you have to kind of push your metabolism through grief. So yeah, just Ray has provided this holistic explanation for how your biology works that I just feel like nobody else in the health space has. They all kind of think they have a piece of it, but Ray's kind of had the whole picture from the start. And yeah, just thank you guys for everything. Thank you for giving him a platform, and keep doing what you're doing. That's really all I wanted to say.
Hey, Chucks, thank you so much. I see you in the comments. You're again, same, everything I said to David goes to you as well. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Likewise to you guys. Keep doing what you're doing.
Take care, brother. Thanks for calling in.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. We got 2 more calls here. Hey, these calls have been 10 out of 10. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Had no clue what to expect tonight. And they've really been phenomenal. Thank you guys so much. And thank you, Georgie, for hanging out with me.
Wish his family could see them and hear them too.
Yeah, same. Okay, so let's.
This is recorded, right? So then we can potentially send a link to Catherine and others.
Or
right?
maybe I'll edit out the errors in it eventually. But of course, the whole thing.
It's okay. That's what makes us human. Ray never shied away from error.
That's true, but it's not that fun to listen to when the people are dropping off the call. Okay, so we got who was first here? Okay, caller, you are on there. The floor is yours. What's up?
Hello?
Caller, you are on there. The floor is yours. What's up?
Delayed, I guess.
Say again?
Sorry, I was just a little delayed, so I was confused. I've been in the Ray Peat community for a while now, probably since 2013. I just felt I had to call and say something because he's affected my life so positively. But I was around since the Peatarian forum, and I actually found out about Ray Peat through your Hair Like a Fox book, Danny. So thank you for that. But his work on thyroid and metabolism, I mean, without that, I couldn't even imagine where my life would be. I had PFS, post-finasteride syndrome, to the worst extent. As you might know, that's a pretty rough row. A lot of guys kill themselves over it, and I managed to get better, and now I'm helping other people get better from that particular problem. And through focusing on metabolism and thyroid and the collective health of the body through the cellular systems, the mitochondria, I've been able to improve all aspects of my life. And even though I don't always agree with Ray's philosophies and everything he does regarding diet, his general principles are, they're inarguably great. And I don't know, I'm really shook by how I was expecting Ray to live to at least 100. So, there's a lot of different factors at play, but kind of shook by what's happened. And I don't know what more to say other than I really appreciate you and Hattie for sticking with it all this time. It's a difficult task. You don't get a lot of recognition for doing what you guys do. And of course, Ray with his courage and his sacrifice for the integrity of science. We have to be in gratitude, and we can only choose to live courageously as he did and continue to spread his message, even though he didn't have a specific message. We have to remember his teachings and try to live up to him in honor of what he's given us.
Dude, well said. Thank you for sharing that. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Danny.
You too, brother. Take care.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Since you mentioned finasteride, just wanted to mention something that Ray, in an email a long time ago, people shared on the forum. I think it was back in like 2013 or 14. somebody had taken finasteride and it stopped, and I emailed Ray and said, like, I have these really bad problems and they don't seem to be mental. There seem to be something going on with my digestion. And then Ray sent back an email. He very rarely sends an email without having some references when he talks about like a specific chemical. And he said, finasteride most likely damaged your intestine and or liver or even the gallbladder. And at the time when I saw the step, and I'm like, well, that's interesting. You know, I want to know via what mechanism that would happen. So I kept searching and nothing came up. 2 days ago, a study came out saying that finasteride causes chronic inflammation of the entire gastrointestinal system.
Wow.
And basically restoring allopregnanolone, which you can do with progesterone and pregnenolone, right? Reverse those effects. Type finasteride intestinal inflammation, and then it'll come up.
Finasteride
intestinal inflammation or GI inflammation. I think it will come up.
With this one.
There we go. That's the one. The very top one. Yep.
Wow.
And the funny thing is it stopped after the drug was. It started after the drug was stopped, but it was caused by finasteride. So basically, almost 10 years after Dr. Peat said something that for which at the time there was no published evidence, this comes up.
But wait, Georgia, I thought this really drug was safe and had no side effects.
Right. Yeah, it was safe and effective to create eunuchs and, just generally destroy men's lives. And now they're prescribing it to women too, which is absolutely terrible.
I did read that. What's crazy is this fits the model almost perfectly of dutasteride was released in like 30 years ago, basically. So it's like 30 to 50 years. You can see how seriously dangerous a drug is. Finasteride release date, I think it's 1997. Finasteride patent 1984, and medical use in 1992. But that wasn't for hair loss in 1992.
It was for prostate problems, right?
For prostate problems.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think it's 1994 or 1997. I can't remember. Anyways, okay, let's get to these last few callers here. Man, again, home run calls, guys. Really appreciate it. What a fantastic episode opportunity to talk to everybody. Oh, now we have a bunch. Okay, we might not be able to get to all of these. Let's click on. Are you still there?
Yep.
Oh, I heard some weird beep.
I just don't move much. So.
I heard a weird beep. Okay.
Not for me.
Let's do Richard here. Hey, Richard, can you hear us? Connecting to audio. Richard, you're on air. You're muted. What's up, brother?
Jenny,
hey, how are you? What's going on?
How are you?
Not much.
The floor is yours, buddy.
Yeah, I just saw the email from the forum saying that Ray Peat has passed, and wow, I don't even know what to think.
Brutal.
Yeah, and obviously a lot of you guys have probably a stronger connection to him than I did. I had a couple of probably newbie emails to Ray, which he responded, which was nice. And I started out in the low carb, and then went to carnivore, and didn't have the greatest patience. Actually, had zero patience. I still had a lot of health problems, and yelling at my kids all day. And then, found out, actually the first time I heard about Ray was I was searching for some red light stuff, hoping that would be the next, silver bullet. And for some reason I pulled up to some thread on the Ray Peat forum, and I was like, everyone's talking about, well, Ray said this, Ray said that. I was like, who is this guy? Is this just another like guru or something? Why is everyone? And then later, I don't know, 6 months later, I found this podcast, you guys' podcast, and that's who Ray is. All right. I've been able to be more patient. That's not to say perfect with my, wife and kids, which is definitely a plus. Just have a different outlook on life, I think you can give up a lot of the ego, and it's just embarrassing to reminisce about how I used to be with everyone, just cringe. I just cringe at myself thinking about what I used to be like. And I probably still am to someone today, but hopefully I'm better. At least I feel better, I guess.
Totally understand that with the family. been there myself almost every day. But the very fact that you then reminisce and kind of feel bad about what you've done, it's already a sign of good health.
One minute you're yelling at your daughter, the next minute she's filling up a CO2 bag with you inside.
Yeah, she'll definitely probably be doing that. Yeah, the super hypnea that you guys talking about earlier. I mean, that's helped my youngest daughter tremendously. She with her eczema and skin, so that's been a definite game changer for us. And yeah, so I got a lot more to learn, and hope thanks to you, Danny and Georgi, for continue on his legacy, and all the creators out there, and just keep the train going.
Yep. You're a champion, brother. Hey, thank you so much for calling in. Really appreciate it, Richard.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Take care, brother.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Damn, these calls are too good. Okay. 206. So let's try to get through as many of these as possible. I think Samantha's been waiting for a while. Oh, Richard's still on. We might have Samantha. You are on. How are you?
Hi, Danny. Hi, Georgi.
Hello. The floor is yours. Thanks so much for waiting.
Yeah. Thanks for setting this up for everybody. It was actually last Friday. I was talking with a friend, and I told him I wanted to write a letter to Ray to thank him personally. Like, does he have a P.O. box? Yeah, he does. And of course, now we know he's passed. So I thought, usually I don't jump in on things like this, and I just thought it was fitting that I do. So thank you so much for the work that y'all are doing. And I can't express, I won't do any justice to it, but just the gem that Ray is. And I didn't know that other people felt this love and respect for him, like a family member, like a grandfather feels appropriate. And I just, I've been through my own health journey, I guess, as cliche as that is, since I was a teenager, and I'm 32 now, and feeling like I've just kind of been through the ringer. I'm sure like many of us have, and I finally feel a sense of hope, like an anchor, that I found something real, and, truly understanding our physiology and what we need to be healthy and happy. And I think that when we find truth, we get closer and closer to truth all around in all aspects of life. And I am such a newbie here with y'all. Just about the past year and a half, I found Ray through Strong Sisters and interviews with you two and Ray, and it was a good spiral effect. And it's been so enjoyable learning and getting to know everybody in the space, and more just been really enjoyable. And I have so much to discover and read and learn and listen to with y'all. And thank you for everything you do. And in fact, one of the other callers was talking about hair loss, and I've been waiting to buy your book, Danny, and I just went ahead and bought it because I've been going through that, and for comedic relief, kind of feel like Smeagol at this point. So there better be some good info in there.
You're going to be reading the words of an angsty Danny. So it's keep that in mind.
Well, I guess I could ramble on, but I just thank you for facilitating this space for us and all that you and Ray and everybody has done. It's nice to have a communal belonging feeling. So thank you.
Thanks for calling in. Thank you for sharing that, Samantha. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, man. These calls are so good. Okay. Let's see. We have two more here. Let's just jump through them. Caller, you are on the air. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you, Danny.
Hey, thanks for that. Okay, the floor is yours, buddy.
Thanks, Danny. Name's Alan from New Jersey, and I just wanted to call and say thank you to Georgie and Danny. Thank you. I discovered you guys quite a long time ago when you were doing your podcast with Chris Kresser, and he was making fun of you for liking willow tree bark.
That guy's a dick.
Yeah, totally. I don't really have anything new to contribute. Like you said, all the callers have been great. I just kind of echoing how profound Pete's been to my life and everyone else here.
No worries, dude.
And,
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, keep going on your train of thought.
Like I said, nothing really new to contribute. Just really appreciative and just trying to keep going. I know everything's real tough, and he's just always been like really solid. Like this, he's really given me this idea, this systems, like he's talked about the systems approach to understanding things, and it's his word. This is the one thing I've been struggling with personally a lot, is finding words lately. But basically the encompassing idea that understanding us as an organism and our lives, and just it's the most rational. And I just want to say thank you.
Dude, we appreciate you, dude. Really appreciate it. Thank you for calling in. Chris Kresser, that was like more than 10 years ago. So I really appreciate the support. That's extremely long time. So thank you so much.
Is that the guy that does the ice baths and whatnot?
This is like, he used to go on Joe Rogan occasionally, and then he was like super embarrassed by a vegan that went on there. He's
a doctor, right?
Yeah, he's real lean, and he was on Joe Rogan a few times.
I think he's the guy who recommends the what is it, cold thermogenesis or something, to like basically bathe yourself in a bathtub of ice.
He's become extremely irrelevant.
Well, if you spend your life in a bathtub of ice.
Yeah, he used to have that guest a lot on the doctor. It started with a K, I think.
Karazian?
I can't remember things. So. No, I don't think that. That doesn't ring a bell for me, at least.
Yeah, dude, I could talk at length about this subject, but since trying to keep it positive here, I'm not saying.
Let's not upset Ray.
Yeah,
I don't think he likes that guy either.
Yeah. Hey, caller.
Exactly.
Hey, thanks again. Really appreciate you calling in. Appreciate it a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, and thanks for having us.
Take care, brother. Okay, one more. This will be the last call. Hey, what a show! And then I'll read the super chats. Okay, last call. Arjun, how are you? I'm sure I'm butchering your name. The floor is yours.
No. Totally good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, all good. Loud and clear.
Sweet. I tell people it's Arjun, like Argentina, just without the Tina.
I'll commit that to memory.
Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you to both of you. I found Ray through you, Danny, and I was also a vegan, and then heard some crazy shit about carnivores preaching the same thing, and I was like, how is this possible? Has anyone else tried both? And that's how I found you, Danny. So thank you, and that led me to Ray, and finding someone who was like trying to come at it with a bigger view than just the dogma of one camp or another was really refreshing. And then you, Georgie, you have allowed me to live some of these questions through your products. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, gotten a couple of things and tried them out and lived the experiment the way I think Ray would suggest for all of us. Anyway, I just wanted to add that I've been new to this, but I've kind of seen Ray as a bit of an intellectual parent to all of us. And I've thought a lot about what parentage is and what it means and what a parent should provide and how we've been deprived of good guidance in so many ways. And it would seem to me that teaching the next generation what is safe and what is not is one of the things, and then giving them the means to continue that exploration, that journey, and break through the things that they didn't know and even more. And it would seem like Ray embraced that in both ideology and practice by literally keeping us safe in terms of things that he was steering us away from, whether it was estrogen treatment or whatever. But then also in like being open to new things. And as you were saying, Danny, like validating everyone, which is really, really great. And as I've been listening to everyone talk, I can't help but think that like, this is very synonymous with a book that I just read called The Power of Myth by Joseph Campbell. And he talked about one of the fundamental things is that we are all, as our own heroes, called to adventure, and we have to answer the call. And it's tough and it's hard to go against everything that you knew. But usually there's some hermit that comes out of the desert living alone who like gives you the tools that you need and teaches you how to stand up against the empire, so to speak. And I think that was Ray for all of us. And that person always has to die for us all to become the heroes that we're all supposed to be. And it's always too soon. As Mary Oliver says, doesn't everything die at last and too soon? And so as Ray went, like everyone else, I was a little shocked, but that's what came to mind. And I was like, this has got to happen for all of us. And if that gives perspective to anyone and makes anyone else feel a little better, that would warm my heart. And that's why I'm here to share. And now I kind of like, I'm looking at both of you. I'm like, oh my God, Ray was Obi-Wan. You guys are Luke and Han Solo. And it's like Big Pharma's Darth Vader. And I would love to see that meme. That would be a great meme if anyone on the forum wants to make it. But yeah, that's all I wanted to share. So thank you both. And I'm sure Ray is out there in the neutrino sea somewhere, and we'll see visions of him the same way that, Obi-Wan came back in Star Wars. But thank you both. Appreciate it.
Arjun, you're a genius. Thank you so much. Hard to follow up that. Take care, brother.
Thank you. You too.
Take care. Bye-bye. Okay. Let's read the super chats and let me kick off Arjun. Oh, he's off. Okay. Georgie, anything you want to say before we wrap it up here?
Not really. I mean, everybody's tribute was great. Coming from a different perspective, but I really like the last statement. Basically, like the guru, the father, always dies too early, right? It's never a good time to die for the person who's been teaching all these things. But at some point, if this is to be truly meaningful for everybody, we'll have to stand on our own, and the children have to grow up, even if we don't want to.
Oh my God, the same thing happened where I can only see a few. Can you give us a little update on Idea Labs? And then I need to find how to find these super chats real fast.
I mean, we continue expanding the analysis in hair and nails. We should be able to measure neurotransmitters, inflammatory mediators like the prostaglandins, and something that's kind of like, I think that may actually be probably like one of the most useful aspects of it, to do like a fatty acid profile. Because right now, if you want to get like a fatty acid test, they have these tests in blood, right? But it really depends on your lipolysis level, like how often, when was the last time you ate, what did you eat, et cetera, et cetera. So hopefully by looking in the hair and nail, and there's some good studies on that showing that it works really well, we can tell you like what was your fatty acid profile over the last, like, I don't know, X months, and how did it change? Because it's like a long-term picture of the fats you've been eating. A lot of people are out there eating olive oil. They're buying organic olive oil, like coconut oil and whatnot. And I know Ray has had some misgivings, especially about the olive oil, because it's usually fake, right? Very rare to find like a true good product, but also about coconut oil. And I have a feeling that a lot of the products that are out there, it's not that I know he said that coconut oil, like MCT oil, may be dangerous, maybe allergenic. I think it has to do with the contamination. So we may be able to show that. And by contamination, I mean, actually, I think the industry is diluting like the oils with PUFA. So we have some we have a good sample of people who are following a relatively strict diet. Some of them have been in metabolic wards. So we know that time period. So we can actually look at the hair with a very specific time period and see what happens. And, maybe we'll figure out. Not that it will be any surprise if we find out that yet another healthy product has been completely bastardized and compromised. But knowledge is power, right? The truth will set you free, and at least we'll know what to avoid.
Thank you for that. Okay, Pi Pal says, thank you so much for what you guys do. It was very touching to hear that Ray had so much fun being on the show. Marcelo says, special thanks, Danny, for organizing the live episode many of us needed. Thank you, Georgi, for your significant contribution and being here as well. Thank you all for Ray Peat community who joined to celebrate the wonderful Dr. Peat. Great Awakening says, you are all legends. Long live the legend of the saint of Thanksgiving, our beloved Dr. Ray Peat. Mirabilis, just no comment. Thank you so much. Slade, who was on the call earlier, he says, hail Ray Peat, and forever may his legacy illuminate our hearts. Thank you for that, Slade. Mercy Me just donates without a comment. Thank you for that. Pat Riley, he says, many have said Dr. Peat was like a father figure and felt a genuine closeness with him, myself included, even with no direct contact at all. That speaks volumes of this beautiful soul we call Ray. Thank you for that, Pat. Elliot says, Georgi, thank you for using the gift of your intellect to embody Ray's spirit through your subs and experiments. Never stop. You have helped me so much. Thank you for that, Elliot. Cerebral Friction says, thank you to all three of you, Danny, Georgi, and of course, Ray. You are all legends and changed my life forever. It means a lot. I'm sure Ray is proud of you guys and the way you carry on his work. Thanks for that, Cerebral Friction. Elliot again says, Danny, if it wasn't for your YouTube show, I never would have found Ray. Thank you for your embodiment of his principles and never stop broadcasting. Thank you, brother. Goalie gives us a super sticker. Thank you for that. Ian Fist says, God bless Dr. Peat. Ellie says, we are Ray Peat now. KT does a sticker. Thank you for that. HFC tab. No comment. Thank you for that. Natalie says, please keep his work alive. No problem there. And that was it.
I think it'll be hard to actually shut it down now. It's going mainstream.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, clearly. People tell me all the time, they're like, oh, XYZ is now talking about some Ray Peat idea. It truly is reaching a critical mass. And I was actually just talking about somebody about 8 years ago when you talk about one of these ideas and you just get dumped on because nobody thought they were viable at all. So I think Ray is really penetrating the consciousness. Do you want to take this last call or do you want to go?
Let's go. I mean,
okay,
they're here for Ray, so let's take it.
Absolute last call. Okay, here we go.
Always too soon. As Mary Oliver says.
Hey, caller, you're going to have to turn off your speakers.
And so, as Ray, what?
Hello.
Hey, you're on air. What? The floor is yours.
Hi, Danny. This is Priyanka. How are you?
Priyanka, how are you? Very, terrible, but kind of okay.
I know. Hi, Georgi.
Hi. How are you?
Good. Georgi, my neighbor. I remember writing you a mail long time back saying I'm in Maryland, and you said, "Hey, neighbor."
Yep. I remember the email.
Anyway, I was devastated to hear about Dr. Peat. Extremely saddened, but also read that that can put you in a state of, helplessness. And so I want to believe and follow what Dr. Peat says. And so just become an extension of him instead of sitting and harming your health.
It's difficult, but I'm trying and I'm working towards it. And the maximum pleasure that I get is when I read his work and I associate it and I feel it and I can sense what he's saying and apply it to actually my life. I've not had an opportunity to ever talk to Dr. Ray Peat, but I've always felt in your vlogs of hearing him, and even when I'm going off to sleep at night, I hear him talk just to learn a little bit more, and repeatedly I hear him, and that's how I will keep him alive in my heart, and I will try to not really preach or force myself. It doesn't work, but in my own subtle way, try to help anyone who needs it through my education. So all that I want to say is this, and love you guys for what you do. Thank you very much. And yeah.
Beautiful.
That's all I have to say.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that, Priyanka.
Thank you. Thank you, neighbor.
Total pleasure as always. Take care, okay?
Bye-bye.
Talk to you soon.
Thank you. Talk to you soon, Danny. Bye-bye, Georgie. Bye, Danny. Bye.
Okay, man, what exceptional amount of calls. Okay, I'm exhausted emotionally, physically, and mentally. What any parting words here?
I mean, everything that should have been said was probably said. I'm sure we can do a lot more calls, but if it's any, it will be enough. I'm hoping it's enough of a consolation for people to know that how much contribution Ray made to everybody selflessly. And, all we can do is follow his example.
It hurts bad, but yeah, man, it's, I hope I can say this without crying. Did I already say, I think I did say, I'm very happy with the last 2 years. I'm happy of all the work that was done. And I think I'd be real bummed if it didn't happen. And so I feel at peace with everything and feel extremely fortunate to get to communicate with him so much. And like every caller expressed, I walked out of my house and I was looking at kind of the property I live on. I wouldn't even be here without him. It's like, I mean, he's touched every aspect of my life. It's really wild. So
it was comforting to hear that he got better towards the end. I was really worried that he's been suffering for the last year. Because as you know, he didn't sound very well on a couple of the calls, and same thing happened on other people's calls, like I think with Patrick Timpone and whatnot. But what's his name? TB, yeah.
I'm gonna have to listen back to that one because I was having a mental breakdown.
Yes, she was. It's okay. That she basically talked to him and just a few. Was it the day before or just a few days before?
Yeah, she said he
sounded his usual self.
Yeah, just a few days before. Again, I'm sure more details will come out, but that will happen when it happens. Hey, Georgie, thank you so much. 2.5 hours. Really appreciate it. Yeah, guys, a lot more generative energy episodes happening this month, so stay tuned, and maybe we can do one more with you and I or something before the end of the year, and we should do that. We should wrap up the year or something.
Of course, yeah. I mean, I've accumulated quite a few articles. I think that Finastra one will be like a pretty good discussion.
Awesome. Cool, brother. Hey, thank you so much. Yep. Thank you to every caller that we had. Sorry to the people that didn't get to share their voice. I apologize. Probably my fault, but what a stellar bunch of callers. Sincerely appreciate it. What a special show. Thank you guys so much. And next week, I think we have some episodes of the show. So stay tuned to the Telegram, t.me/DNRowdy, and then idlabsdc.com, Georgi Dinkov. Thank you so much. Thank you to the callers. Remembering Ray, a sad day, but brighter days ahead. Okay. Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Peace out. Take care. Bye-bye.